Alright guys, how's everybody doing out there on YouTube? Hope you guys are all having a great day. Today I'm going to go ahead and go over the Verizon Samsung Galaxy S5. We're going to do a little bit of review, a little bit of comparison to the S4 I've got right here, and we're going to go through it. I'm not going to do the unboxing. I'm going to skip the whole unboxing thing. I'm getting a little tired of the unboxing thing, so I'm just going to pull it out. Everybody knows what's in this thing. You got a charger and a wire and a USB cable and the headphones and a phone and some manuals. So it's really not all that exciting anymore, in my opinion anyway. So there we go, we're going to pull it out of the way. I'm going to peel off the plastic off this thing. Now I have played with this a little bit just to get my feel for it and how it functions. So let's go ahead and power it up. So this will be our first boot up. One thing I do like to point out is now it does say powered by Android. I think that is wicked cool. Alright, so here is the first boot up. Let's go ahead and talk about some specs on these devices that are very cool and a little different. So we're doing a little comparison here on the boot up. Obviously that boot up is insanely fast. You can see right there you are already booted up. So that is wicked cool. So if I'm going to go through these, what the operating systems are and things like that, obviously both these don't have SIMs in them right now. You're going to get pop-ups. This is really cool. It points out and reminds you to make sure your back is on the device and then goes away, but it always does it on startup, just to give you that warning unless you want to tell it to not pop up anymore, because these things are water resistant. So it's very nice that it reminds you to make sure the back is sealed very well. And then also when you charge and unplug your charger, it actually tells you to put the little flat back on the bottom here that covers up your charging port, again because of that water resistance. So very nice little reminders there. I like them a lot. Alright, so we're going to talk about the operating systems on this, some of the computing power and all that. Basically, this comes with KitKat Android 4.4.2. Very nice, awesome, newest Android operating system. The S4 came with 4.2.2, which was Jelly Bean, but at this point, it's almost all the S4s are updated to KitKat Android 4.4.2, which is pretty sweet. So very comparable on the operating system itself. Over here you have a 5-inch screen on the S5 and the S4. This is actually a 5.1-inch screen, I should say, on the S5, and the S4 is a 5-inch screen. So very similar there. They're both Super AMOLED displays, so very similar. You have a PPI of 432 on the S5 and 441 on the S4. So PPI is pixels per square inch, and they're a little bit better on the S4, which is pretty sweet as well. So obviously there's some things there you can compare. The other thing I guess that we talk about is processing power. These things both have 2 gigs of RAM for memory, and then they have CPU rating on the S4 is 1.9 gigahertz processor, quad core, and that is a Snapdragon 600. And then over here on the S5 you have a Snapdragon 800 with a 2.5 gigahertz processor, quad core, which is just sweet. So there, you can see obviously this is a step up when you go to the S5 from the S4, but they're very comparable. Also, I guess we'll talk about the sensors on the camera. So you have a 2 megapixel front-facing camera and a 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera on the S5. If you flip these over, basically what we've got here is a 16 megapixel camera on the S5, and we have a 13 megapixel camera on the S4. These cameras are excellent. They take amazingly good pictures. Absolutely love them. Really like my cameras on my Galaxy devices. Obviously you can see the layout here is very similar. You do have your speakers on the back right there. You have your cameras and your LED sensors. And on the S5 you actually have a heart rate monitor, which we're actually going to talk about here later on in the video. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, that's pretty much how you would compare them. Battery wise, the S4 has a 2,600 milliamp hour battery, and this one has a 2,800 milliamp battery for the S5. So, you know, like I said, it's just one step up basically from the S4. If all you can afford is the S4, you still get an amazing device. Alright, so that being said, we're going to move the S4 out of the way for right now. It's a cool device, but we really want to focus on the S5, but we did get some good comparisons in as we went through that. Let me actually get a closer look at this for you. We've got the device here. Now this does have a new looking UI, it's a TouchWiz UI, so there's going to be some changes from the S4. So I'll just try to go through these a little at a time here. So basically this is your standard interface right here. Let me hold the phone so it don't slide on me. This is basically exactly how it comes out of the box. You do have some different features in here, your weather, you know. You do have the feature of Google Now, which is very cool. And you can just turn it on by saying, "Okay, Google, ask your question," whatever it may be. And it's going to record me while I'm saying this. And it'll do a little Google search for it, which is very cool. As I said. So very, very neat. Love that feature on any device and any launcher. It's very nice device and feature. Alright, if you slide over, this is going to get you to My Magazine UI, and this is basically one of those Samsung features that they have, and you can put news and follow different feeds, and it's always going to be on the left, all the way on the left. Once you swipe all the way over, you can always access My Magazine. So it's cool, it's different. If you like that kind of stuff, it's nice. And you can see the rest of it. Alright, so we've gone through the home screens. Let's go ahead and check out the app drawer. Everything is alphabetical in here. You can see there's a lot of Verizon applications, Amazon applications, standard Google applications. Nothing really amazing in there to go through. And you can see again, same kind of stuff. I do like the file browser in here. It's pretty cool. I like the UI of it, the little looks and feel of it here. And then you can also look at the kind of more standard UI right here and go through all this if you guys like looking at it that way. But this is nice. It kind of puts it all in one little spot for you. You can go to like images, and I have a couple of screenshots I took earlier. So very, very sweet. Definitely liking that. Otherwise on here, pretty standard stuff. Nothing really unusual for Samsung. Here we go. We have a smart remote, which is really cool. You can control your Comcast box, your TV, that kind of stuff. Look at things that are playing. It's like a TV guide kind of combo all in one. Click up here and you can kind of go in and set up your remote and get it functioning for you and use it to change channels, volume, all that kind of stuff, all from your phone, which is really cool. And again, this is a feature that's been in quite a few Samsung devices for quite a while because there is an IR blaster on this device. Otherwise, you can see through here, again, pretty standard. There's more, just a ton of Verizon junk. Kind of pisses me off. I hate that stuff, but and go through it. Let's go ahead and really quick, let's go to an open screen here and let's go ahead and check out some widgets. I'm pretty sure you access them like this, which you do. And then if you want to add a widget, you would click in here. So you can see now widgets are not in your app drawer. They're physically added by holding down on the home screen. So you can see there's different things. Flashlight widget, I always like using that. I think it's nice. Turn on the LEDs on the back. See what else we can find on here. Flashlight. Bunch of different standard stuff. Here's kids mode, which I've not really played with yet, but I'm sure it just turns off like your internet and things like that, so that you can let your kids play with it and they're not going to mess anything up or go somewhere where they shouldn't. Weather stuff, YouTube, yeah. So very, very standard, but that is how you're going to be able to get to all of your widgets. You can see if you're in here also, you can actually go to wallpaper. And you can choose wallpaper for your lock screen or your home screen. I'll change my home screen really quick just to show you how this works. So here's a bunch of wallpapers. You saw the one I had for my lock screen earlier. Let's put that one for the home screen because it does look pretty cool. And there you go, very simple to do. And then lastly, you always had another setting right here. And okay, so right here you have My Magazines. I think you can turn that off with that little click. I don't really like it, so I like that it's easy to turn off, very simple. And then you can actually change your transitions. So right now it's on card stack, it's just the way it looks when you scroll the pages. Let's go ahead and change it to 3D rotation and check that out when you change it. Okay, very nice. I'm very happy that developers are putting transitions and stuff into their launchers now, or manufacturers I should say. This has been something that's been in custom launchers for a long time. I'm really pumped about that. And you can see now, you don't have that My Magazine on the far left anymore. So very cool. Definitely some nice features in here. Alright, so we went through the apps, we went through the widgets. Let's go ahead and pull down our notification bar, swipe away some notifications I have from some buddies, and I'll just show you guys through this. So here's your quick settings and stuff. This is pretty cool. This is Quick Connect. So if you tap Quick Connect, we'll turn it on, and it basically finds any device that your device can connect to very quickly. whether it's Bluetooth, whether it's streaming to your Sony TV, which I have in the other room, which is my Google Play TV, I would call it, or my Google TV, or my Roku box. You can just use that quick connect and get to it very easily, and then just connect to them and stream, which is just nice. It's a nice quick feature. I like that it's up here in the top bar. You also have multi-window right there, which you can actually turn on with that, or you can hold down your back button and it'll turn on multi-window. You know, do your gallery and your file browser, and there you got split windows. You can view gallery stuff and that at the exact same time, which is very, very neat that you can do this multi-window stuff. You know, you can work in this one, you can look up here in this one for your pictures, you can grab it here and move it around, make this one bigger, this one smaller, you know. All that kind of stuff is just very, very cool. Go back to home. So very, very neat. Lots of cool features in this thing for sure. Also, you can go in here and you can look at all of your settings, which there are quite a few. And then one of the other things I'll show you really quick, which is kind of neat, is if you have your phone starting to die, you're losing power, and you just need to have it on for like emergencies, phone calls, text messages, just some basic stuff. You don't need it on and working to get, you know, everything working real great. I'll show you the best way to handle this, which is very, very cool. You can come up here, slide this down, and then scroll over and go into Power Saver, or like Super Power Saver, I guess is what they would call it. And you just select it. And look, it tells you your battery percentage, and in this mode you can go 9 days, and you'll see why once I do this. So everything turns to gray, then it goes away, and then it comes back in this very black and white interface that basically uses no power. So it's ultra power saver mode, and that's your options. You have like phones, messages, internet, clock, and calculator. That's pretty much all you can do. Oh, and get emergency alerts. But your phone will last forever in this mode. Screen's dimmer, things like that. And then if you want to get back out of it, you just come up here, hit these dots, and go ahead and turn off power saver mode, hit OK, and it's going to turn this mode back off, and you'll be back to your normal looking display. It does take just a second to actually apply it. And there it is. So there you go. Now you're back and running. Everything's looking good, and your battery's going to drain a lot faster now. On that note though, we are going to go into settings right now, and I'm going to show you guys one thing, or well, a bunch of things in here, but probably the most cool is right here, power saver mode. And there is just a standard power saver mode you can turn on, which is right here. And I just turn it on like that and go back out of it. And that's just going to help your battery from draining out on you, just in general, and it's not going to actually change the look and color and that kind of stuff on your screen. So you guys can see this is maybe a little different from Samsung before. You actually have a little different UI here in settings, which is also very neat. Standard stuff like that in here, lock screen. Here's that multi-window here that we were using on the side, which is basically that, and these are the settings for it to turn it on and off, things like that. This is actually really new right here. This is pretty cool. You can actually use toolbox, and I'll show you how toolbox works. This is very new for Samsung. It's part of this new UI. So you can turn this on, and you see this little circle it added right there? That's going to be on every single screen everywhere, and if you hold it down you can move it around, put it somewhere else. I'm going to put it down here, and then if you hit it, it just opens this up to some shortcuts. It's actually probably easier to honestly see this on settings, so let's do it right here. There you go. So you see it? So these are some shortcut apps you can put in there. You can put in whatever apps you want in there by doing it in settings and going to toolbox and then editing these applications and picking different ones. So you can see you can put whatever you want in there. But it is very cool. I definitely dig that it's right there. Very simple. Another quick little shortcut thing that floats on your screen anywhere you are. I really dig it. Really dig it. I like new and improved functions on devices. So here's notification panel. Again, this is how you can edit and adjust all of these notifications, what order you want them in, where you want them, things like that. Also, another thing I saw was really cool is recommended applications. When you plug in your headphones, these are the applications that it's going to recommend. It's going to have them in the notification bar right up here on top, which is very cool, and you can pick those and edit them. If you like using a certain application a lot and it's not in here, you can change that. So I like that you can do that. You can actually edit some of these things that you couldn't really do before. Besides that, the rest of this is pretty standard. Oh, this is very cool. This is also a new feature on here, which is the fingerprint mode. So this is fingerprint security. And basically what you do is alternative passwords. So basically you have to activate a fingerprint. So let's try and see, say use fingerprint recognition password alternative to entering your password. So change alternative password, swipe. So we're going to change what we use. So fingerprint, alright, is turned on. So then when I lock my device, it comes up, so now you can see it asks me to swipe my finger. And if you do it correctly, it says I have a bad swipe. Let's try it again. It does turn the screen off really fast, which is kind of annoying because you have to do this really quick. Let me turn it sideways so I can get a better shot at it here. Try to get this so you can see it. So this is like, in my opinion, not super accurate, but there it goes. There you go. So you can see, basically you have to set that up by swiping your finger like 10 times, and then it stores your fingerprint on there. And then this button, you just swipe it across the button, and that goes ahead and allows you to unlock with your fingerprint. So there you go. You can see it. Boom. So it's cool. It's a little gimmicky in my opinion, but it's just a nice way, easy to unlock instead of doing a swipe or putting in a password. So it has its benefits, I guess, as much as anything will. So we've got all that in there. Last couple of things I want to show you is I want to show you how to use this heart rate monitor, which is pretty cool. It's integrated into this right here. So we'll open up this application through the widget here, and it actually has a pedometer here. But if you come on the side, you can actually go to heart rate, and it basically tells you to put your finger on the back, hold your finger, and it'll take your heart rate. Basically you're putting it over the LED sensor. So let me go ahead and demonstrate this for you. So here's the LED sensor. What I found is just to hold it like you would normally hold the phone, right there, and then flip it over, and we'll go ahead and hit OK, and just hold it there, nice and simple. I had this work a couple times, and then other times it's been a problem. That time it worked in the first try, which is pretty cool. So I have beats per minute of 84 beats per minute, and it'll store it, and you can do all kinds of other cool stuff in here, like a pedometer, exercise charts, foods. This is just all like exercise stuff to make you healthy, because some reason they want you to be healthy. Here's your normal interface for it, which is pretty sweet as well. So there are some definite cool applications in here, especially if you're into exercise. This is a really cool application. The heartbeat monitor is just kind of cool, but like I said, a little gimmicky in my opinion. Lastly, I'm just going to show you the camera UI really quick because it's pretty sweet. Let me lift this up so you guys can see it. There we go. I'll do it like that. Now this is very up close, but it should still focus. There it goes. So very, very cool. It does snap photos really fast in my opinion. So really nice. There's no like that like processing like you'd see on some of the other devices I've seen. There are some cool different modes in it you can do. Panorama, virtual tour, dual camera. So if you want to do that, it'll actually look back at you or look back at my camera. So you can see my camera right there and the Android guy at the same time, and take a picture of that. So very, very sweet. We'll go through the gallery really quick here, which is pretty cool. Just push right there and you'll get through the gallery. You can see some pictures. That one's a little blurred. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I do like the camera a lot. I think it's a very, very good quality camera. 16 megapixel camera is very, very nice. And again, you can do that 4K recording. Let me just show you one more thing in the camera that I thought was a nice different change as well on this thing, which is going to be the settings. So now in settings, instead of going through like menus and submenus, basically you hit the settings and boom, it's all right here. These are all your settings. So I just find that that's a really, really nice feature, that I'm not having to go through like click this one, then click that menu, and then now I get into this menu where I can get to it. It's just less confusing. So when it comes to the settings on here, I am a big fan of the settings on here as well. It's very nice. Alright, so I guess maybe the last thing we'll do is I'm just going to go over and look over this body just a little bit and discuss some of the features on it. So right up here, guys, we have the earpiece, and you have some sensors and some gesture sensors and things like that up on top, along with your camera right along the top right there. And then down here at the bottom you have your home key along with your capacitive, these two keys. This one right here just brings up all of your recent applications. And you can see it's got that like blue outline around them. It's just different again for the UI. And then over here you have your back button, which is a little hard to see both of these, but that's how they function. And then obviously this is also that fingerprint scanner if you want to use that. Swipe into it, unlock your device. So that's pretty much your standard front side here. We'll go on the side here, basically very, very thin, and one power button right there. Otherwise it's got that, you know, same shiny, you know, kind of silver along the edge all the way wrapped around the device, just like on the S4. Flip it over the other way. Again, same deal. You have your volume up and down on this side right there. Pretty standard. I like it. It's nice. Let's check over here on the top. So on the top you have your headphone jack and you have your IR blaster right there. Those are your features right there, which are, again, pretty slick. Flip it all the way over on the bottom and you have your 3.0 charging port along with your cover, which is a little weird. I mean, I feel like it's easy to open, but because it's just got this little flap on it, little flappy do, I feel like it's going to be like easy to break off, like very easy. So I don't know. That's kind of one thing that's just rough for me. I feel like this is going to break off really fast. You're charging your phone every day, so you know you're flexing this little piece of plastic every single day. So yeah, you may be water resistant right now, but if you don't guard and protect this little flappy thing from getting broke off, you won't be water resistant any longer. So just kind of a warning on that. But again, this is 3.0. You can still charge it with a standard USB port or a 3.0 port, or USB cord, I guess you could say. So very cool. It kind of pushes down and then in, seals over, and you want to make sure that's sealed so if you do have water issues or you drop it in the water for some reason, you won't damage your device. Alright guys, that's pretty much all I've got on this device. For my full review on it, a little bit of comparison to the S4. Definitely a very nice device. I do like it a lot. Pretty excited to play with it. Hopefully we're going to get some root access on this thing. We're going to do all of my standard custom ramming and hacking and all that kind of stuff as development happens. So stay tuned for that kind of stuff. Hope you liked this review. Hope it wasn't too lengthy for you. I did try to cover as much as I could in it. And pretty much what I got for you today. Catch you guys in the next time. Rootjunky out.